Salute, Knicks Nation. Let's talk about this game. As the New York Knicks lose to the Lakers 112-128 at MSG tonight. ESPN game, Saturday night prime time. The Knicks defense was lacking tonight. The Lakers definitely stepped it up. They brought their A game. LeBron James came to play tonight. We're going to talk about it. Some concerns I have, obviously, moving forward. OG Anunoby, the story coming out of this ball game. OG out with a right foot sprain, and we'll talk about what that means. How can the Knicks, get through this schedule without OG for potentially, we don't know how long, but foot sprain, not as bad as first feared. Obviously, it was a non-contact injury. We got to wait to find out more as the diagnosis comes out the next day. But right foot sprain is what they're saying right now. Buzzer beater, Sandman AP. Let's talk about this game. The Knicks dominated the glass, but let the Lakers rain threes on us, right? As Josh Hart poured in his 7th triple-double on the season. Shout out to Lion Hart, man. He came to play tonight. He brought the energy, and he played for the name on the front of the jersey tonight. And Brunson and Cat struggled, but I put that down to more the Lakers and the coaching staff of the Lakers. I think outcoached Tom Thibodeau in this one. The Knicks didn't have an answer for the length. We couldn't get dribble penetration easily, but our coverage on the defense was where it went wrong, fam. The Knicks need stops. They need to get the stops to get out and run in transition. And the Knicks weren't able to do that. They were picking the basketball out of their net every single time as the Lakers shot 58% from the field, which is absolutely incredible. You're not going to win a ball game that way. Kind of surprised because I thought we would get a lot more effort. 2 days break before this ball game, and we know the Knicks have been rolling 5 straight. But LeBron James, he always likes to make it about him. They save their energy for this game. We know what it is. It's the same as when the Knicks are on the West Coast playing, at the crypto center, and the Knicks obviously want to have a good showing in LA. The same thing when the Lakers come to Broadway, they try to bring their A game. But I think the role players for the Lakers absolutely outshone our role players. I mean, Deuce had a solid game, but it just highlighted the further strength, the strength of the Lakers' depth over the Knicks' lack of depth. And Leon Rose, we're going to talk about the trade deadline coming up and some news. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson, we got some updates, fam. As we find out that Mitchell Robinson is close to taking full contact in practice, according to Tom Thibodeau. And we'll look into that as well. But the Knicks need another wing, more so than ever, now that OG might miss some time with a right foot sprain. Let us know your thoughts on that. But yeah, having Hart guard LeBron, I mean, that's a tough matchup, right? Precious couldn't stick with him. With the speed, the foot speed was an issue. But yeah, when I talk about being outcoached, I think the Lakers put the Knicks in hella ball screens tonight. Double screens, just screen after screen after screen, getting downhill. It started early. Austin Reeves, got too loose. Max Christie, that was embarrassing. Dorian Finney-Smith going 5 of 6 from distance as well. Buzzer beater says poor execution. It was that, I think the Knicks, nothing tonight in terms of what the Knicks did bad really surprised me because I know what our weakness is. We're 50 games into the season, thereabout. If you don't already know what the Knicks' weakness is, then you haven't been watching closely. And length, size, putting us in a lot of ball screens. That's our concern. We're going to face this matchup in the playoffs, guys. If we do face other teams as well, Dallas, the Rockets, Thunder, Boston, Detroit, to an example, Indiana are starting to peak now. They got hella wings with extra size, and the Knicks are just small. And if Cat, Brunson aren't swishing and dishing and hitting their threes, we are a little small, but credit once again to Lion Hart, 7th triple-double of the season. Yeah, it was a closer game than the score suggests, but I'm not going to let this one linger too much because the Knicks will get back to winning ways, I feel. We've got the Rockets coming up on Monday, and then a back-to-back right after that. We've got the Rockets, and the Knicks have been rolling. But yeah, this is another wake-up call that the Knicks better do some business at the trade deadline. You know, we need some size, we need some wings, and yeah, prayers up for OG Anunoby. Hopefully, he doesn't miss too much time. Foot sprain, like I said, it looked worse than what it was. You know, a lot of people were fearing that it was an Achilles. Yeah, AP. You know, I don't think it'll be 2 months if it's just a foot sprain, but we're gonna wait and see. Tibbs was outcoached tonight, in my opinion, 100%. Don't forget the Lakers with no Anthony Davis. You know, no Anthony Davis, and we just didn't have it going. But I think offensively, I'll highlight defensively and offensively, but offensively, Brunson couldn't get the three balls going, and that opens the lane for everything. You see the length and the clogging of the paint. You know, Rui Hashimura with his hands up, 6'9". I mean, you know, they didn't give us any layups tonight. You know, we had to fight for every bit of contact. Deuce hit a big play, 4-point play tonight, but then Deuce had a crazy rough stretch that really hurt the Knicks. It was a 5-point swing. Deuce had 2 chances and he missed, and a couple of air balls, and Max Christie got the and one, and that was a 5-point swing. You know, the Knicks were pulling within 2, and it ends up a stretch where the Lakers up 8. And the missed free throws, like Buzzer Beater said. And yeah, poor game from Brunson tonight, Sandman. I think Brunson was looking for the extra contact, but the 3-point ball, you know, they didn't give him anything tonight, you know. Hesitation, I thought we should have pulled up for threes. We weren't getting up enough attempts. You know, the New York Knicks, 28 attempts from 3. That's not going to cut it, fam. 35, 44 was the other night. If the Knicks only get up 28 threes, man, it ain't a recipe for success. The 3-point ball opens up everything. And look at Karl Anthony Towns, only got up 2 threes for the whole night in 35 minutes. Is disappointing as well. Hart gets up more threes than the other guys, and I know they were taking away from the other guys, but Deuce got up 7. He hit 3 tonight, but look at all the starters, man, outside of OG. Everyone in the minus. Minus 20 for Hart, minus 15 for Cat, minus 9 for Bridges, minus 17 for JB. 17 points, gave us 7 assists, 7 of 18. Precious Achiuwa, he battled, but I thought he did fumble a couple of great opportunities. The Knicks went 14 of 19 from the free throw line, and that's, you know, that's unacceptable. We had Bronny James chants as well. A lot of tourists in the building, a lot of Laker fans. Yeah, you know, I just want to get away from this circus with the Lakers coming in to MSG, and we can, you know, we can focus. We obviously do let our guard down when we do get on a bit of a roll. We start feeling ourselves. That's why I never get too far ahead, fam. Never get too high, never get too low. That's, you know, the NBA game will humble you real quick. And it's a case of, you know, you've just got to, you got to treat every game like it's, you know, with respect. You know, every game with respect. But yeah, I don't think we were well prepared tonight from the coach. But when OG went out, I mean, that was our chance, really. OG guarding LeBron. It's just a tough matchup. You know, really tough matchup. Size-wise, prayers up for OG Anunoby. Hopefully he doesn't miss too much time. But some news on the buyout front. PJ Tucker is a guy that is a name to watch. He's likely going to be a buyout candidate after the trade today between the Clippers and the Utah Jazz. The New York Knicks would be eligible to sign PJ Tucker if he was bought out. Now, I think the Knicks plan, we're going to get into it, at the trade deadline, you know, Ian Begley in his latest report, that sounding very confident that the Knicks are going to trade Jericho Sims, right? And he keeps mentioning, this is about the 3rd time that he's mentioned for picks, 2nd-round picks. Now, my theory is the New York Knicks won't necessarily be looking to get a player back for Jericho Sims. They'll be looking to free a roster spot. If you can trade Jericho Sims into another team's salary cap, and you get back a couple of seconds or you get back a second rounder, but it frees up an open roster spot. Now that'll allow the New York Knicks to bring in 2 players. Now the likeliness of the Knicks getting back a player that they really want for a trade with Jericho Sims is very unlikely. I know a lot of people have talked about Javonte Green and all of that. He would be solid, but I do think that the odds are stacked against, that being, being able to be done. More likely is a second round pick, but that would free up a roster spot. And then the Knicks could attack the buyout market and get a player that they really want and sign a guy from the G League, TJ Warren, Chuma Okeke, maybe Moses Brown. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson is the big elephant in the room as well, right? Pre-game, there was some big news. Mitchell Robinson, pretty close to getting cleared for full contact and practice now. So maybe within the next week, I would say, maybe in the next few days, Mitch gets cleared for full practice. So look out for that, fam. The trade deadline about 3-4 days away right now. Mitchell Robinson close to taking full contact. Now, more news is that the New York Knicks have expressed interest in a combo big man, 4'5", Gershon Yabusele. Now, he's a guy who the Knicks have had interest in going back to the summer as well. Kind of like a more, a bigger version of Precious in terms of a 4'5" man that can score as well offensively. Been playing solid offensively. His numbers from the last game, fam, he put up 28 points, 7 rebounds on 71% from the field. The New York Knicks, among many other teams, expressing interest. So, yeah, Leon Rose, no surprise. He's really, getting busy, kicking the tires on a lot of these deals. And let's see what happens right now. But yeah, I'm not going to lose my head over a regular season game. The Knicks are in a great position, but yeah, man, we need health and we need some extra size. And if I'm Leon Rose, I'm definitely going to attack that. The Knicks need an extra wing or two, and ideally another big man. They don't seem to trust Ariel Hukporti as much as I would like. Precious Achua shows his limitations at times, being undersized. We need an extra 5-man and a guy who can mix it up. What are your thoughts to that news, ladies and gentlemen? You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Tibbs, right? But it will take for the wheels to completely fall off. Tibbs is going to be here, much to some people's dismay. But the Knicks are in a good position, for the regular season. It's all going to be decided in the playoffs, That's where it's going to, be had. But Leon Rose has to get Tibbs more guys, to play. Landry Shamet struggled tonight with his lack of size, not hitting the 3 ball either. Some stats on the season, Mikal Bridges is 5th in the league in field goal leaders on 2-point jumpers. So Mikal Bridges starting to find his groove. The New York Knicks before today have been really good at defending the drives as well. You see here on the graph, good at stopping drives and disallowing opponents to score off the drives as well, and the efficiency landscape before tonight. So, yeah, the Lakers didn't have Anthony Davis, but they did get Vanderbilt back, and obviously Dorian Finney-Smith. I was wanting the Knicks to go after Dorian Finney-Smith. You see tonight, he's a real difference maker. If you are going to go for a guy, go for a real difference maker. And yeah, I wanted the Knicks to get in on that Dorian Finney-Smith sweepstakes, but LeBron had his way and the Lakers got him. So good pickup for the Lakers. We need our version of that, because we kind of caught a little bit of luck, because OG Anunoby hasn't missed a game, and a lot of people have been talking about that. And then lo and behold, tonight, he gets injured. So we had a good patch. OG Anunoby been fully healthy on the season, but right now the Knicks, are going to have to face reality now and set to, deal without OG for a period of time. We don't know how long, man. It might be short term, it might be medium, longer term. They are saying a right foot sprain, so not as serious as it looked. Let's hope that it's no more than a week, maybe. We do know OG does like to, get fully right before he can get back. So yeah, the Knicks got to make plans. And look, this might have come right before the trade deadline, enough time to give Leon Rose a lot more food for thought, fam. Because we are going to go as far as our bench can take us as well. The starters, a lot's been talked about. Look, Brunson gets a pass for me. Cat gets a pass. They've been playing absolutely phenomenal. They can't have it going every single night. But really, reality sets in terms of how much we rely on those guys, and who's going to pick up the slack. Deuce gets a pass. Deuce hit some shots. He had a rough stretch in the game. But Cameron Payne, not a good game tonight. Not a good game from Cameron Payne. Not a good game from Landry Shamet. And yeah, the Lakers bench definitely, had a great game defensively. The grit, the determination to get stops wasn't there. And yeah, I agree, David. Tibbs got out coached. The Knicks should have switched quicker. Less drop coverage as well. Cat did sag off a number of times, and when they're hot, you have to start getting up. It's all good to maybe drop. Let them. Let some of these non-shooters, let them hit a couple before you start to switch up your coverage. But yeah, the Knicks failed to do that, tonight. But yeah, what are your thoughts to the buyout market? We're not going to use Jericho Sims, it doesn't look like. So trade him, get a second round pick, get a couple of seconds if you can. Maybe get a role player if you can, but maybe free up a roster spot in that trade so that you can get two guys. Because I really think the Knicks need another wing and another big. Definitely right now. Moses Brown been playing elite basketball with the G League right now. And we had Kevin McCullough, return. The Knicks have also expressed interest in Chris Boucher. Now, his salary is a little tricky. He's earning $10 million. There's also trade rumblings about Marcus Smart. Now, that could come out of left field, right? I haven't forgot, but there was buzz between the Knicks and Marcus Smart dating back to the preseason. We haven't heard anything really since then, but there are fans in the organization of Marcus Smart. He is earning $20 million, so that would take Mitch and Precious to get that deal done. That's obviously going to be more difficult. But yeah, Chris Boucher, Yabusele, Bruce Brown, potentially, Javonte Green, plenty of names to look out for as the buzz keeps coming up. As David mentioned in the chat, salute, guys, tonight. Great to see you despite the loss, and let us know your feelings towards this one. Kevin McCullough Jr. made his long-awaited debut with the Westchester Knicks, scored 10 points on 4 of 9, gave us an assist and a steal as well. So great to see the young man back after a long layoff. Kevin McCullough Jr. now is active with the G League. So he's on a two-way roster spot. So the Knicks can play Kevin McCullough. We don't have to sign him to a real roster spot to play him. We can play him, fam. And so, yeah, look out for that. Obviously, he's going to need a few games in, but he looked pretty solid in his first game. 10 points, was scoring off drives. Now, there continues to be rumblings about a Mitchell Robinson move. However, it is very unlikely, in my opinion. The Knicks will probably wait to see him get back first. But Mitch, active on social media as well, sometimes trolling, seems to like some of these posts about linking him within these trades as well. I wouldn't read too much into that. Mitch has always been quite he's trolling online. Yeah, he seems to be not phased, whether he's here or whether he's not. He's a professional. What I respect about Mitchell Robinson is he's a guy that attacks his rehab. You can call him injury prone if you want. He's caught a lot of bad luck as well as a big man. Sometimes that's just how it plays out. But he's with us right now. I know he's going to be a pro. He's tried to get back as soon as he can. Who knows how the story ends, but this could be the trade deadline that Mitch, ends up getting moved, but more than likely in the summer, I think. More than likely in the summer. I'll be prepared to roll the dice to keep him around. We do need a difference maker, man, in the paint. These drives, LeBron James, guys getting into the paint. Yabusele ain't the solution to that. I don't think Walker Kessler's going to find his way to the Mecca with Danny Ainge around. Nick Richards has been traded. We missed the boat on that one. We got Ariel Hukporti. Jericho Sims going to get traded, I feel. Mitchell Robinson is a guy that we, are hoping for as well to give us some production right now. You're not going to get like for like. You're not going to get like for like value with Mitchie. Cat as the drop 5, good coaches can expose that. We saw that tonight. Fam. Coaching does make a big difference in the NBA. It doesn't get talked about enough. You see other, content creators and media alike, the Knicks played gritty, the Knicks hit their shots, the Knicks playing great, all those things, but it goes beyond that sometimes. It's very, very nuanced. And credit to our coaching staff. Sometimes they do get us the better game plan. We saw it against Memphis. We were running and gunning, made them look ordinary. We made the Sacramento Kings look ordinary. But when you've got difference makers on the other team that can exploit our weaknesses, that's a difference, with size. Hashimura was killing us early tonight. So was LeBron, attacking the drives. And yeah, we really, really rely on OG Anunoby so much. I mean, the obvious is Cat and Brunson in terms of the most inexpendable Knicks, but OG Anunoby with Josh Hart would have to be a close third. We are 52-20 with OG Anunoby in the lineup. That speaks for itself. 32 games above 500. You take OG off this squad, and we're probably a middling squad, man. We're probably not much better than the Chicago Bulls, Indiana. We're back with the pack. That's why we swung that trade with RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley to get an OG Anunoby. But what we've failed to do so far is to get a backup. Get a backup plan, man. You need a backup for the backup. And that's what a good front office needs to do. It's a wing-centric league. Buzzer Beater says, we really could have used TJ Warren tonight. Yeah, he's one of my favorites to bring up, man. 32 points, averaging with the G League. He's a bucket. And I got a feeling that, I don't know what it is, why he hasn't been called up. You think 29 other teams could have done with TJ Warren. So part of me is really feeling confident that the Knicks have maybe given him maybe a wink, a promise to bring him up in March, first thing. Johnny says, salute CT, gut punches tonight from OG going down. LeBom, Reeves, DFS, etc. raining threes. It was a feel-bad game. Yeah, you win 5 in a row. You're going to have a letdown game. The Lakers were really, really up for it. And me and EJ, you guys know our mantra. It's a blessing and a curse to play at Madison Square Garden, man. Don't let anyone spin it any other way. It is the world's greatest arena, but it's also the greatest arena for the away team, for the road team, people coming in. They want to have their best games, and that is the target on our backs, we forever have to live with that. And Brunson has to, it's the heaviest jersey in the league, fam. Us as fans, we can't downplay that playing for the New York Knicks, we have a target on our back. That's why we love Josh Hart so much, because win or lose, he just plays up to it. He plays up for the occasion. Every single night, he brings it, and these other guys, they come and they go right now. But, these guys like Josh Hart, they lay it all out there, right? They won't be punked out there. tonight, I thought Hart was going to will us to the win, man. You know, no lies. When he hit that buzzer beater, three quarter court heave to end the third, I thought, man, Hart's going to do something special tonight. CC salute, Winston salute, AP salute, Sandman salute, Buzzer salute, David salute, Knicks diehard salute. Yeah, we'll bounce back, but yeah, you know, we know our weaknesses and we have to address it heading before the playoffs. You know, you guys know it. You know, we do rely on the starters a lot. I know ESPN did run with that narrative a lot this week, and it is kind of a little bit low-hanging fruit with the minutes and all of that, but more so beyond the minutes, the Knicks rely heavily on the starters because our bench is significantly weaker in terms of the 8, 9, 10 spots. Not so much 6 and 7. You know, Deuce McBride, Precious Achua, like, you know, they're solid bench guys that, you know, they'll make most teams' rotations. You know, Deuce McBride definitely would, but Precious Achua would make most teams' rotations. However, after that, it's a drop-off, you know. And one of the reasons why Tibbs has to play these guys major minutes is because, yeah, you just don't get the quality of production, the trust that you need from a championship bench, you know. I mean, you look at every championship team and just look at the bench that they had, you know, whether it's Malcolm Brogdon coming off as a six-man or, you know, the list goes on as a trustworthy six-man. The Knicks have Deuce, who's still a young player finding his way in the league. I won't rule out the Knicks trying to get a Colin Sexton, whether it's in the summer, definitely. Maybe not this trade deadline, but keep an eye out on the Knicks trying to solidify their bench for next season. Sexton, Marcus Smart, a tried and tested dog, a guy that can go through the trenches. You know. Now, ideally, man, DiVincenzo and Josh Hart coming off your bench, that's elite. But we all know what happened. Hart had to get elevated to go to the starting five, and that made a big difference. We've got to give Hart his grade tonight, like David said. Hart deserves an A+ tonight. He was a dog tonight. Yeah, he'll get the Warrior icon as well. He shows up in the big stage, the big moment. Yeah, no doubt he's going to have another big playoff performance, Josh Hart. He's built for it. But yeah, how many soldiers can go to battle with him right now? So yeah, you know, my thoughts at the trade deadline, I think Leon Rose will trade Jericho Sims. That's one move. Whether we get a pick back, second rounder, or whether we get a Javonte Green or a player that can help is ideal. But if we don't, it's not too bad because it will free up a roster spot. And then we can attack the buyout market. PJ Tucker will be available by sounds. We won't be able to get Ben Simmons if you are, you know, inclined to want that move. The Knicks will be looking at guys. Alec Burks could be a guy. TJ Warren. My thoughts towards TJ Warren, he would address the scoring, but I still feel like we need, you know, defensive coverage. You know, especially for this next stretch, man. Let's say OG does miss 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week. You know, who are we going to play? You know, Landry Shamet looked completely out of his depth tonight, fam. As I'm just going to adjust the Tibbs graphic. We had the Tibbs 5-game winning streak. Now we have the Tibbs 1-game losing streak tonight. But yeah, the other guys, disappointing, fam. I'm not in a great mood to give out the other grades, but Hart, I want to highlight his performance. I do want to shed light on Bridges' offensive performance, 7 of 14. You know, 2 of 4 from distance, 16 points is okay. -9 though, defensively, yeah, they put him in a lot of ball screens. They were looking to attack the switching with Cat and Brunson. They were putting those guys in every single action tonight, and it was just too much for the Knicks to overcome. So we need more switchability. We missed OG Anunoby, no doubt. I won't be mad if the Knicks bring up Chuma or Keke, because yeah, if you have been paying attention, he's been a guy that's made a name for himself defensively. 6'8", 6'7", is a defensive kind of impact player. CC agrees, yeah, with the Knicks target on our back. Exactly, no more sneaking up on anyone. Yeah, we have to live with that, with the target on our back and play through these battle scars because, yeah, we are more of a finesse team now. And my worry is exactly like Bill Daughtry and I spoke about, fam, at the beginning of the season. The Knicks are a couple of dogs short in terms of, matching up. Now, sometimes we don't need that. We can match up so well offensively that we can just blow teams out of the gym. We saw that against, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Kings, the Denver Nuggets. But we all know what's going to happen in the playoffs when teams junk it up and they get physical on you. They try to get under your skin. Coaches can scheme 7 days, 7-game series. How are we going to adjust to that? I don't see Landry Shamet as a guy that's going to be impactful in a postseason series. I hope I'm wrong. I can't fault the guy's effort. He plays hard. He's just not a defensive-minded guy, and he's just not hitting shots. Deuce is so important, to attacking the defense, point of attack, and the ball screen, navigation. But outside of that, man, Toppin, Kolek, Sims, who are you going to trust? Matt Ryan, Huck Porty. Yeah, it's literally 7 guys, Precious and Deuce. Sometimes you can't trust Campaign. He was on his little, Rucker Park and one mixtape. Tonight was Cameron. LeBron James still has that gravitas, David, where, he brings the double and he swings it. But yeah, he's more mobile. Cat has that for us. Cat brings the double. But Cat, he can't really dribble out of traffic and throw the skip pass as well. Unfortunately, Hart is a little undersized as well. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with the weaknesses of this team. Jackson Hayes was using his size, buzzer, in terms of why wasn't Cat in the low post. Foul trouble early. They were doing a good job fronting him, just denying that ball, the pass, the outlet, denying that for a few seconds, and then that disrupts the whole set. And then, the ball handler gives it up to the next guy, and the play's broken after that. So yeah, you guys already know the key to the Knicks offense is getting stops first. As ironic as it is, guys, our defense fuels our offense. Man, our offense can look quite ugly in the half court. Don't let anyone, make no illusions, fam. A defense wins championships. You have to get stops. If you're constantly picking the ball out of the net, it don't matter how good your offense is, right? You have to get stops, and the Knicks need to get out in transition. We are undersized. Jalen Brunson is a guy that, is a defensive liability on certain nights, most nights. Karl Anthony Towns as well with the drop coverage. Yeah, when we shoot 10 of 28 and we don't get the stops, yeah, we're gonna find it tough to win. 112. CC says Sexton will cost Mitch and Deuce. Yeah, I spoke on that. Ideally, if you are parting with Deuce, you try to get Walker Kessler back. If it's just Sexton, I wouldn't do that deal. But yeah, I would look at that in the off season, fam. I don't think Sexton is probably a trade deadline move, but definitely a move for the summer, I think. If that can be had, hopefully the price can come down. And the Knicks will be able to trade another first-round draft pick in the summer, don't forget. One of the reasons why trades are more difficult right now, guys, is the Knicks are limited. They can't trade much of their their assets with the first round picks. We are going to have to wait for another cycle. Have I been impressed with Mikal Bridges, AP? I wouldn't say impressed. Impressed is probably a bit far in terms of he's had moments where it's like, okay, this is what we traded for, and then he's had moments where it's been underwhelming. But I think we are relying on him a bit too much. I think as the third option, sometimes fourth option, OG Anunoby offensively really has to step up as well. We see tonight OG Anunoby missed time, and we really missed his production. Cat and JB, the scouting report, more scouting report is coming out on these guys and how to deny those guys to slow us down. But yeah, simply put, man, size. They can't teach size. You can't make up for a lack of size, man. No shooting, no coaching, no schemes will make up for a lack of size. And so yeah, Mitchell Robinson could address one of the biggest needs and weaknesses, but also we need more size on the perimeter, fam. Because yeah, Mikal Bridges is savvy, he's lengthy, but he's more of a technician, like Bill Daughtry said. OG and Mikal are technicians. They're not lockdown wings. They're not junkyard dogs. They're not tenacious. There's a difference. You could be solid on ball, off ball, getting passing lanes, but there's a difference between really being a lockdown wing defender with extra size. I would definitely look at bringing up Chuma Okeke, and I would look at bringing up Moses Brown, if there is a roster spot. Waive Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is no good for us on this roster right now. Bless up to him, we gave it a chance. He's from the area. He's a 3-point marksman. But we have him, we have Landry Shamet. It's kind of redundant right now. It's a redundant fit. He's using up a two-way. So, yeah, I would be curious to see if Leon Rose does waive that spot, add him to the two-way roster spot. Moses Brown could be insurance. He's putting up record numbers in the G League, like 30 rebounds, 20 points. Kevin McCullough, though, I don't want to get too far ahead. He has to stay healthy, but Kevin McCullough could be a wild card as the season progresses, but we obviously have to wait and see. He has to get more minutes under his belt. He's only played one G League game, but ideally he would be a 6'6" defensive-minded wing. I think that we could use. Yeah, David, I agree. Switch Matt Ryan out, get TJ Warren in, trade Sims for picks, free up a spot, get in Moses Brown. And then obviously the big news with Mitchell Robinson ready to take contact and practice. So that's significant. That's significant, fam. Yeah, I would love us to target us Colin Sexton in the trade, in the off season or trade deadline if possible. Him next to Deuce would be solid. But yeah, we're really lacking that one more impact player off the bench, like really impact player. And I think someone who can create a shot. It could be TJ Warren. Last year we had DiVincenzo, we had Bogdanovic. Yeah, we know those guys were dynamite off the bench, a guy that the team really has to respect, the other team. Right now, Cameron Payne isn't that guy. He can be spark plug. I think that's the best way to explain Cameron Payne's game. He gets up and down, 15 to 12 minutes max. He could be appreciated, but yeah, he's not that guy that's going to make the defense really get scared. But we also have some news regarding MSG Networks, fam. Stefan Bondi with the Post exclusive. MSG Networks, we know, have been trying to figure out things with the debt collectors and in terms of staying out of administration, and avoiding bankruptcy. The ratings and the revenue hasn't been keeping up. So there's a possibility that Amazon could come in. How would you feel if Knicks games went on Amazon? Damn, I know a lot of fans have hit me up, talked about, that would be a good thing, they feel, if the Knicks were on Amazon. Look at this, man, Lionheart. The NBA's best finishers at the rim. Josh Hart is ranked 5, man. Look at the other guys. Gafford, Mobley, Allen, and Gobert. All 7-footers or 6 centers. And Josh Hart is ranked 5th in best finishes at the rim. And he is 6'4", fam, as well. They don't teach size, but they also don't teach heart. You can't measure heart. And he just knows how to finish. Yeah, so disappointing night, guys. But yeah, I'm not reading too much into this one for one night. The Knicks, on a 5-game tear, and definitely the Lakers came in, played hard. They played gritty. We had a target on our back, and we were neck and neck. It was back and forth. We didn't get the best game from Brunson or Cat, but yeah, defensively they had too much depth. Too many impact players for us. But yeah, we didn't play a smart game. We just couldn't get it going from 3. And obviously we missed really OG Anunoby. Dorian Finney-Smith, 5 of 6 from downtown. That was the stretch that really killed us. Now, I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but PJ Tucker, a 6'8", 6'9", guy that can defend 3s, 4s, 5s. That's a guy that you really try to get, right? As a buyout guy, you got nothing to lose, man. I think on the perimeter, he could defend a little bit, rebound, would be versatile as well. What do you guys think about a PJ Tucker? AP says, I'm amazed OG made it this far. He's been playing heavy minutes. He's been very durable so far. But yeah, it was a non-contact injury, and it just those things are scary, fam. Those things are scary right now. Does that mean we have to play Josh Hart more minutes? That's scary to think about as well. And Bridges hasn't missed a game in his entire career as well. So, look, Leon Rose, I'll say this, man. We know what we're getting with Tibbs. We know what we're getting from our guys, from our starters. But Leon Rose, man, the ball is in your court right now. I mean, no joke, right? This trade deadline could make or break the Knicks' rest of the season, right? We know how, we're walking a tightrope right now in terms of depth and wings, fam. Indiana has more depth than us, right? We might be a better starting 5 and a better team overall, but Indiana has more depth than us. Orlando has more depth than us. Detroit has more depth than us as well. Milwaukee, we have more depth than Milwaukee. But yeah, we're walking a tightrope. If we do lose a starter, we are really in a bind, right? So get to work, Leon Rose, man. None of this messing around. Matt Ryan, Jericho Sims, Landry Shamet, guys that aren't being played. Pacome Dardier, right? I like Pacome Dardier, and I hope he sticks around. But we're trying to win a championship right now. If Tibbs ain't going to play any of these guys, and maybe the aim is to develop them with G League so that they're ready for next season. I get it. But you got to make some moves, man. If Mitch can play, great. If he can't, look for some moves. Jake Toppin, we keep using a 2-way roster spot on him. He doesn't get an opportunity. Matt Ryan, I mentioned that double up with Shamet. Kevin McCullough, he's a guy I'm really interested to see what he's got. David says, Mitch Feb 8. Things are coming up, man. Things are coming to a head. CC says, this season will not be determined by this one loss, 1 of 82. Yeah, definitely not. But I know our strengths and where we can really punish teams, and I know where other teams can punish us as well. And I think we've got some smart guys in our front office, and I think they will know, where we need to make some additions. And I think we already know, according to Ian Begley, that Jericho Sims is a piece that looks like they've decided, he's not part of the future plans. Kind of a double up. Precious Achua seems to have taken that spot. They're comfortable with Huck Porty as the future. Maybe a guy that they can keep on the cheap, see how he develops. But yeah, I think you get Jericho out, try to get a Javonte Green, a guy who can defend with size. Definitely. Kevin McCullough, hopefully, yeah, he can be a guy. Yeah, the financial situation is with MSG Networks, fam. Nothing to do with Knicks, the franchise. The Knicks, the franchise, are financially strong. It's simply that the MSG Networks is standalone, so it operates as its own business, operates as its own entity, and obviously it needs to stay financially viable, fam. The Knicks organization is not going to prop it up, ideally. If it goes bust, then the Knicks games will get broadcast on a different network right now. Yeah, if something's not making, if something's not, surviving as a business, the Knicks franchise doesn't need to prop it up. It's a network, right? So yeah, Amazon will come in, someone will come in right now, but obviously, yeah, they want to try to keep MSG Networks going. But yeah, the Gotham Sports app hasn't been as successful for various reasons. I'm international, so I've always had international league pass, and I can watch any feed with no blackouts. But obviously, that goes directly through the NBA. But yeah, I feel for the New York fam, the local market. They've never had a great solution. Especially yeah, for some of y'all cable cutters, the streaming game hasn't really, it hasn't really hit, unfortunately. But hey, the Knicks' next handful of games are all going to be, national TV, right? The national stage right now. LeBron James come in. We have to be ready. We have to be ready to play with a target on our back, fam. And yeah, this locker room is lacking a little bit more size and toughness, right? Not going to say heart or will, because I'll never question these guys really want to win. But like I said, some of their strengths, they're technicians, they're finesse players. Cat, Brunson, they're finesse guys. OG Bridges, they're technicians. They operate differently. Hart is the real warrior, like Bill Daughtry spelled it out for us all early in the season. We need a couple of physical specimens and some intimidators. And Mitch is definitely one of those. Mitch will anchor the paint if he's fully healthy. We need some more guys out on the perimeter, and I don't think Deuce McBride is being utilized enough. 22 minutes, right? If OG and Bridges are struggling, you see the Knicks late down the stretch. Deuce had some moments defensively, got some stops. Unfortunately, he did crap the bed offensively on a couple of those fast breaks, but that happens once in a while. But outside of that, Deuce, he defends well on the perimeter, and I think the Hart matchup on LeBron was just a bad matchup tonight. Anyone else, Hart could generally hold his own, but obviously the LeBron James matchup is a lot more tricky. So yeah, PJ Tucker is a solution, I think, to look for as well. Let's see if Leon Rose can pull a rabbit out the hat. But I am kind of confident, excited about the prospects of getting guys in. Jericho Sims, I think that's ran its course, and I hope that he gets opportunities with another franchise. He's got his future to look out for as well on an expiring deal. Precious Achua is fighting for his career as well. He's on an expiring contract. He's playing hard right now, though. He's definitely handy to have and keep around. But yeah, we need more help on the perimeter, and I don't think Pacome Dardier, Tyler Kolek will be that solution for this season. Curious to see how Pacome looks next season once he hits the weight room, gets more weight, physical strength. I think Pacome Dardier, the Knicks will really be looking for him to be a heavy contributor next season. Kind of like what they did with Deuce McBride. They built him up. They let him get strength and reps in the G League. I don't think the organization is going to give up on Pacome Dardier. They really like him. But just look for next season, I think, for him. I think this season might just be a little bit too soon. But yeah, Tyler Kolek the same. I think another summer league, another great preseason, get some strength. Tyler Kolek does need to hit the weight room. Hey, a team might come calling for Cameron Payne, and if you can get another piece in, the Knicks could look at that. There's 3-team trades, there's exceptions going around. The Knicks still have Rokas Jokubaitis, 6'4". He's a guard with more size. They could look to bring him in the summer league, or flip him for some picks, some more value. James Nagy, another guy, overseas. I've been tracking him and his development. He's got promise and potential, along with Huck Porty as well. I think Dardier might not get some burn, buzzer beater. I think they will probably give Landry Shamet some more burn, but who knows? Kevin McCullough, if he's healthy. I know he's only played 1 G League game, but yeah, man, the boy can defend, man. Like, the boy can defend, and he's a 4-year college player. He's experienced, 3-year college player, I think. He's experienced, and he's got toughness as well. So yeah, let's see how that plays out. As we look around the league, I'll bring up the standings, fam. Yeah, the New York Knicks have been on a 5-game tear as well, so this game won't hurt the Knicks much. The Orlando Magic continue to struggle. 2-8 in their last 10. They lose again today. Something is going on with Orlando, man. They're not the team that I anticipated right now. So let's look at the Pistons. They're still 500. That will be a tough first round matchup if the Knicks do face the Pistons. But if the playoffs started today, the New York Knicks will be facing the Miami Heat. But obviously Jimmy Butler won't be there. So that'll be interesting. I do think that'll be a straightforward series. I think the Knicks would be heavy favorites. If the Knicks can hold on to the 3rd seed, we would avoid Indiana in the first round. We would avoid the Bucks as well. I think it would be any one of the Heat, Pistons, the Magic, or the Atlanta Hawks. Fam. Look, Philly could make a run, but I doubt it. I don't think they'll be able to get up to the 6th spot. So yeah, the Knicks at 3rd would play the 6th seed. I think it's going to be the Heat, the Pistons, or the Magic, right? I would not want to play the Magic in the first round if they can get everything together, but they are struggling right now. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Eddie F, great to see you, says, a very few of the local sports networks are profitable now, I believe, because of the streaming and the dilution. Yeah, that's why the Gotham Sports app, they tried to combine everything, to get everything going, fam. It is tough. And look, it's nothing new with the Knicks. It's other teams, man. We saw the Portland Trail Blazers network go bust. Especially these small market teams, the Phoenix Suns have to stream on free to air now. The owner's just taking a loss, and giving everyone free access on free local TV. So that's what the Phoenix Suns are doing right now, fam. Yeah, there is a lot of competition with other sports networks and all of those things, fam, as well. I think they just needed to make it a more cost-friendly, get more subscribers rather than charge, a higher package. But I do know these production costs, man, they're not cheap fam. You got to pay these cameramen, the analysts. They got to travel, engineers, all of those things. Yeah, it's a costly exercise right now. Today's action around the league: the Hawks took another loss. They are struggling. The Magic, as I said, lost. The Nuggets pulled out the win. The Timberwolves lost to the Wiz. Unbelievable. iHeart and the Thunder dominated the Kings. Wow, look at the Blazers, man. Everyone's playing on edge with the trade deadline coming up. I always say you see these crazy results before and after the trade deadline because everyone's starting to play hard. The fear is starting to kick in. No one wants to get traded. The Heat playing hard right now. Beat the San Antonio Spurs as well, fam. So, yeah, big back-to-back coming up, guys. What can I say? You know, the Knicks got revenge on their minds up against the Houston Rockets. Maybe it's kind of going to be a blessing in disguise that the Knicks took a loss tonight so that they can refocus. Because I really, really want to get revenge on the Houston Rockets, fam. They're one of the toughest teams in the league right now. 32-16. You know, similar record to the Knicks. And, you know, they're coming off a 2-game losing streak right now. And they're going to be tough. You know, we beat the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies just defeated the Rockets as well. So we have to show them some home hostility. Amen Thompson coming in, Dylan Brooks, and the trade deadline, right before the trade deadline, the Rockets come to MSG, right? So, yeah, that about wraps things up for tonight's post game. Tonight, fam. Frustrating game, but yeah, once again, I think we do tend to lose in a similar way. And the Knicks couldn't get going with the 3-ball. The Lakers had us going, you know, with running in transition, locking us down with size, length, and hurting us with size up the other end. And we might need another X-Man, like Buzzerbeater says. Yeah, another guy like Charles Oakley, X-Man, PJ Tucker, Yabusele, Isaiah Stewart. You know, one of these guys. Again, I like Precious Achua, but size-wise limitations. He's more of a finesse player as well, I think. The Knicks need some intimidation. And I think, let's see what happens with Mitchell Robinson. That could be a huge boost as he's set to practice now and take full contact. So, yeah, peace up. Big up, guys. Blessings. And let's get it on Monday night versus the Rockets. After this defensive lapse tonight, the Knicks will look to bounce back. And there's still 15 games over 500. On track for 52-plus wins. The All-Star break coming up. Don't forget about that. That could be on Cat and Brunson's mind right now. Also, the vacation coming in. OG Anunoby's sprained foot. Maybe that's come at a time where he can get more rest. You know, maybe OG just sits it out. Maybe he sits out Houston, the Raptors, Boston, Indiana, ATL. And maybe we bring OG Anunoby back after the All-Star break. Maybe that's best case scenario. Let's wait and see. But salute, peace out, blessings everyone. Talk soon.